My fiancé ghosted me a week before our wedding. I sent out the invitations anyway, with an extra twist, and then this happened. I'm Talia, 31, from Portland, Oregon. I'm sitting here in my kitchen, staring at my laptop screen while my coffee gets cold. The cursor blinks mockingly in the empty email draft I've been trying to write for the past hour. My best friend just keeps texting me, asking if I'm okay, but honestly, I don't even know how to answer that anymore. It's been 3 days since Ryan just vanished. 3 days since his last text message, which was literally just running late for dinner, start without me. Except he never showed up for dinner, or responded to my calls, or came home that night, or the next night. I take another sip of coffee and immediately regret it. It tastes like bitter disappointment now. The wedding invitations are stacked neatly on my counter, all 150 of them, already addressed and stamped. Our wedding is supposed to be this Saturday, 5 days from now. Everyone we know is expecting to watch us say, "I do" at the Abernethy Center, followed by what was supposed to be the party of our lives. My phone buzzes. It's my mom. "Any word from Ryan yet, sweetheart?" I type back quickly. Still nothing. But don't worry about it. The truth is, I'm way past worried. I'm somewhere between furious and completely numb. Yesterday, I called his office, and his assistant Emma told me he'd taken a sudden leave of absence. When I asked his best friend Derek what was going on, he got all weird and stammered something about Ryan needing space to think. Space to think? About what? We've been together for 4 years. We just signed a lease on a new apartment last month. We picked out our freaking wedding cake flavors 2 weeks ago. I pull up his Instagram again. I know. It's torture, but I can't help myself. His last post is from 5 days ago, a picture of his morning coffee with some philosophical caption about life taking unexpected turns. The comments are full of his coworkers and college friends saying things like, "You okay, man?" and "Call me if you need to talk." So everyone else apparently knows something I don't. My doorbell rings, making me jump. Through the peephole, I see Jess standing there with what looks like a bottle of wine and a bag of takeout. I'd probably cry from relief if I weren't so emotionally exhausted. "You look terrible," she says the second I open the door, which is exactly what I need to hear from my brutally honest best friend. "Thanks. Really feeling the love today." She pushes past me into the kitchen and sets down the wine. "Have you eaten anything that wasn't coffee or ice cream?" Ice cream is dairy. That's basically a food group. Jess gives me that look, the one that says she's about to go into full crisis management mode. "Okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to eat this Thai food, drink this wine, and figure out your next move." My next move? I gesture toward the wedding invitations. My next move should probably be canceling everything and hiding under a rock for the next 5 years. Or, Jess says, popping open the wine bottle with more force than necessary, "You could do something unexpected." There's something in her voice that makes me look at her more carefully. "What do you mean?" She's quiet for a moment, pouring wine into 2 glasses. "Okay, don't freak out, but I might have done some investigating." Investigating. I may have casually run into Derek at the grocery store yesterday and asked him some pointed questions. My stomach drops. And Jess takes a long sip of wine before answering. "Ryan's been seeing someone else. For months, apparently. Derek didn't want to tell me, but I can be very persuasive when I want to be." The words hit me like a physical blow. I've been expecting this somewhere deep down, but hearing it confirmed makes everything feel surreal. Who? Someone from his work. I don't have all the details, but Derek said Ryan's been planning to call off the wedding for weeks. He just couldn't figure out how to tell you. I laugh, but it comes out harsh and bitter. So his solution was to just disappear? Like we're in high school? Apparently. I stare at those wedding invitations again. All our friends and family, all expecting to celebrate what they think is the love story of the century. My dress is hanging in the closet upstairs. The flowers are ordered. The caterer is probably prepping right now. You know what? I say suddenly. You're right. I should do something unexpected. Jess raises an eyebrow. I like where this is headed. I grab my laptop and start typing. If Ryan thinks he can just ghost me and leave me to deal with the fallout alone, he's got another thing coming. What are you doing? Sending those invitations, but with a little modification to the message. My fingers fly across the keyboard as I compose an email to send with each invitation. You're still invited to celebrate this Saturday at 4 p.m. Just not the celebration you were expecting. Instead of a wedding, you're invited to my Ryan is a coward party. Open bar, great food, and all the drama you could want. Come witness me officially close this chapter of my life in style. P.S. Feel free to bring a +1. I'll need all the moral support I can get. I hit send before I can second-guess myself. Jess nearly chokes on her wine. Talia, you didn't actually. I did. My heart is pounding, but for the first time in 3 days, I feel something other than devastation. If he wants to humiliate me, fine. But I'm not going down quietly. My phone immediately starts buzzing with responses, and that's when I realize I might have just made everything infinitely more complicated. Within an hour, my phone is blowing up. The responses range from shocked, "OMG Talia, are you serious?" to supportive, "I'll be there with bells on," to completely bewildered, "Wait, what happened to Ryan?" But then I get a text that makes my blood run cold. It's from Derek. "Talia, what did you do?" Ryan's freaking out. He's on his way over. My stomach lurches. He's what? Jess looks up from her phone, where she's been reading me the more entertaining responses. What's wrong? Ryan's coming here. Right now. Oh, this is about to get interesting. 20 minutes later, I hear his key in the lock. I'd completely forgotten he still had one. The sound makes my chest tighten with a mixture of anger and something that might still be love, which just makes me more angry. Talia? His voice echoes through the apartment. I stay in the kitchen, gripping my wine glass like a weapon. Jess squeezes my shoulder. You want me to stay? Please. Ryan appears in the doorway, and honestly, he looks terrible. His usually perfect hair is messy, there are dark circles under his eyes, and he's wearing the same clothes from 3 days ago. Good. What the hell, Talia, he says, waving his phone. I've got 50 people asking me what's going on. Oh, now you want to talk. I set down my wine glass carefully, afraid I might throw it. Where exactly have you been for the past 3 days, Ryan? He runs his hands through his hair. I needed time to think. Time to think. I laugh, but there's no humor in it. About what? About how to properly break up with someone you've been with for 4 years. Because I can give you a hint. It doesn't involve disappearing without a word. Talia, it's not that simple. Actually, it is that simple. Jess steps forward, and I can tell she's about to go nuclear. You've been cheating on her. For months. While planning a wedding. While letting her think you were building a life together. Ryan's face goes white. Derek told you? Derek didn't have to tell us much. I say quietly. Your disappearing act pretty much confirmed everything. For a moment, we all just stand there in the most uncomfortable silence of my life. Then Ryan sits down heavily at my kitchen table, and suddenly he looks less like the villain and more like a broken person. Her name is Sophia, he says quietly. She started at the firm 6 months ago. I feel like I'm going to be sick. 6 months. It wasn't supposed to happen. I was happy with you. I thought I was ready to get married. But then... He trails off, staring at his hands. But then what, Ryan? But then I met her, and everything felt different. Like I was pretending to be someone I wasn't with you. The words hit me harder than I expected. Pretending. Not pretending exactly. Just not myself. With Sophia, I felt like I could be who I actually am. Jess makes a sound of disgust. Oh, please. You felt like you could be who you actually are? You mean a cheater and a coward? Jess, I say quietly. As much as it hurts, I need to hear this. Ryan looks up at me with those blue eyes that used to make me melt. I know I handled this terribly. I know I should have talked to you months ago. But I kept thinking maybe it would pass. Maybe I could make myself want what we had. Make yourself want it? The words come out as a whisper. I do love you, Talia. I always have. But I'm not in love with you anymore. And I haven't been for a while. There it is. The truth I've been dreading, but somehow already knew. It should feel like a relief, but instead it feels like someone just reached into my chest and rearranged all my organs. So you decided to ghost me instead of having an adult conversation? I was scared. I knew how much the wedding meant to you, how excited your family was. I kept thinking maybe I could go through with it, figure it out later. Figure it out later? My voice is getting louder. You were going to marry me hoping you'd learn to love me again? I didn't know what else to do. You could have been honest. We're both shouting now, and I can see our neighbor's lights turning on through the window. Jess is just standing there, looking like she's watching the world's most depressing reality show. You're right, Ryan says suddenly, his voice back to normal volume. I should have been honest. I should have been honest months ago. Yes, you should have. But Talia, that party invitation? Really? What about it? You're going to humiliate me in front of everyone we know. I stare at him. I'm going to humiliate you? Our friends, our families. Our friends? Our families? I'm shouting again. You mean the people who took time off work, bought plane tickets, and picked out outfits to celebrate what they thought was our love story? The people who are going to find out their friend is a cheating coward. Ryan flinches. I deserve that. You deserve a lot worse than that. So, you're really going through with this party? I look at him, really look at him, and suddenly I see him clearly for maybe the first time in months. The way he's more concerned about his reputation than about the fact that he broke my heart. The way he came here to try to control the narrative, not to apologize or make things right. Yeah, Ryan. I'm really going through with it. He stands up slowly. Then, I guess we don't have anything else to talk about. I guess we don't. He starts to leave, then turns back. For what it's worth, I really am sorry. About all of it. After he leaves, Jess and I sit in silence for a long time. Finally, she speaks. You know what? I think you're going to be just fine. Yeah. But Talia? What? I think there's something else you should know about Sophia. My blood turns to ice water. What about her? When I was doing my investigating, Derek let something slip. Something about why Ryan really disappeared this week. I brace myself for whatever fresh hell is coming. Sophia's pregnant. I don't remember much about the next few minutes. I think I might have laughed, not because anything was funny, but because what else do you do when your entire reality just got turned upside down again? Pregnant, I repeat, mostly to see how the word sounds. That's what Derek said. Apparently, she told Ryan last weekend. Last weekend. I'm just echoing everything Jess says now because my brain seems to have temporarily shut down. So, he didn't just decide he didn't love me anymore. He got a side piece pregnant and panicked. Basically, yeah. I pour myself another glass of wine, even though I'm definitely past my limit. How long have you known? I found out this afternoon, right before I came over. I wasn't sure if I should tell you. I'm glad you did. And I am, surprisingly. It explains so much. The sudden distance, the guilty looks, the way he's been working late for months. It also makes his disappearing act make a little more sense. Not excusable, but understandable. So what now? Jess asks. I look at my phone, which has been buzzing nonstop with responses to my party invitation. Some people are horrified, some are confused, but most are supportive. There are a lot of "you go, girl" messages and several people saying they're excited to celebrate my freedom. Now I throw the best damn, my life just imploded party Portland has ever seen. Are you sure? I mean, now that you know about. Especially now that I know. I feel this strange clarity settling over me. Jess, this isn't just about Ryan being a coward anymore. This is about me taking control of my own story. The next 3 days pass in a blur. I call the caterer and explain the situation. She's surprisingly cool about it and suggests we add some revenge-themed appetizers to the menu. I contact the DJ and tell him to prepare for a different kind of celebration. I even call the florist and ask her to add some black roses to the arrangements. But the most important call I make is to my mom. Sweetheart, are you sure about this? She asks after I explain everything. It's not too late to just cancel and have a quiet family dinner instead. Mom, I've spent 4 years building my life around someone who is pretending to love me. I'm done hiding and being ashamed of things that aren't my fault. But honey, what will people think? I don't care what people think. I care about showing everyone, including myself, that I'm not a victim here. I'm someone who refuses to let other people's choices define my story. There's a long pause. Then, in that case, your father and I will be there with bells on. Saturday arrives faster than I expected. I wake up in the bed I was supposed to share with Ryan tonight as his wife, and instead of feeling devastated, I feel excited, nervous, definitely, but also strangely empowered. I put on the dress I bought for the rehearsal dinner, a gorgeous black number that makes me feel confident and beautiful. If I'm going to publicly process my life falling apart, I'm going to look amazing while I do it. The venue looks incredible. The black roses mixed with the original white ones create this dramatic, gothic romantic vibe that perfectly captures how I'm feeling. The Ryan is a coward banner that just surprised me with might be a little much, but honestly, I love it. People start arriving right on time, and the energy is weird but good. There's this mix of curiosity, sympathy, and genuine celebration in the air. My college roommate Lauren shows up with a Team Talia t-shirt. My cousin Mike brings a piñata shaped like a groom. My coworker Sarah arrives with a bottle of champagne and a sign that says "Dodged a bullet." But the biggest surprise comes about an hour into the party. I'm in the middle of giving an impromptu speech about how sometimes the best thing that can happen to you is finding out who someone really is before you legally bind yourself to them, when I see a familiar face in the crowd. It's Emma, Ryan's assistant from work. She's standing near the back, looking nervous but determined. After my speech, she approaches me. "Talia, can I talk to you for a minute?" We step outside onto the venue's patio. "I probably shouldn't be here," she says, "but I had to tell you something." Okay. Ryan didn't just get Sophia pregnant. He's been embezzling money from the firm to pay for her apartment. That's why he really took leave. They're investigating him. I stare at her. What? I've been his assistant for 3 years. I knew something was off when he started asking me to process expense reports that didn't make sense. When I started asking questions, he got weird about it. "Why are you telling me this?" Emma looks uncomfortable. "Because you deserve to know who you almost married. And because, well, there's something else." "What?" "The firm's investigation turned up some irregularities, with your joint checking account too. You might want to talk to your bank." The pieces start falling into place in my mind. The mysterious account transfers Ryan said were for wedding expenses, the way he'd been handling all our finances lately, his insistence that I didn't need to see the bank statements. "Emma," I say quietly, "how long have you known about all this?" "A few weeks. I thought about calling you, but I wasn't sure if I should get involved." "I'm glad you did." We go back inside, and I try to act normal for the rest of the party, but my mind is racing. As people start to leave, Jess pulls me aside. "You look like you've seen a ghost." "What happened with Emma?" I tell her everything. "Holy crap, Talia. This is huge." "I know. What are you going to do?" I look around at the remnants of what was supposed to be my wedding reception. The flowers, the leftover cake, my friends and family who showed up to support me even when they didn't fully understand what was happening. "I'm going to call my lawyer first thing Monday morning," I say. "And then I'm going to figure out what my life looks like when it's actually mine." And Ryan? I think about everything I've learned over the past week, the cheating, the pregnancy, the embezzlement, the financial manipulation. Part of me feels like I should be more angry, but mostly I just feel free. Ryan made his choices, I say. Now I get to make mine. As I'm leaving the venue that night, my phone buzzes with a text from an unknown number. "Saw the pictures from your party online. You looked happy. I hope you are. S." I stare at the message for a long moment. "Sophia." She saw the pictures and texted me. I type back. "I am. Good luck with everything." And as I hit send, I realize it's true. I am happy. Or at least, I'm on my way to being happy. For the first time in months, maybe years, I feel like I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. But as I'm walking to my car, I can't help wondering, what would I have done if I'd known about all of this from the beginning? Would I have been brave enough to walk away? Or would I have tried to fix everything the way I always do? I guess I'll never know. But I do know this. Sometimes the best thing that can happen to you is finding out the truth, even when it's messy and complicated and nothing like what you thought you wanted. My phone buzzes again. This time it's a text from a number I don't recognize. Hi Talia, this is David from the firm. Emma gave me your number. I think we should talk. I look at the message for a long time before responding. Monday morning work for you? Because apparently, this story isn't over yet.